that he had actually written his own pretty damn well, actually. So it begins with a preamble, which we're particularly proud of. It says, Mary Roloff Stott was a talented musician and writer, a devoted wife and mother, a sincere and wise humanist, and the granddaughter of Albert Hubbard. Gil Stott was a beloved educator and mentor, a devoted husband and father, an accomplished musician, and a man of wisdom and grace. Together, they were an extraordinary couple who enriched the lives of all of us. The Mary and Gil Stott Award at Roycroft honors that memory by encouraging those whose pursuit of excellence in music, writing, and the arts is in keeping with their spirit and the spirit of Roycroft. So that's the preamble, and everybody gets one of those. Charlie's, though, says, artist Charlie Clough is more than a Roycroft campus artist in residence. He is as close as we might get to the modern-day embodiment of the spirit of Roycroft. As he continues his Clough public painting workshop in his Roycroft Print Shop studios, inviting one and all to help him create lasting collaborative art, he reflects on his return to Roycroft after many years. Yes, he says this place is about the past and I'm more about the here and now and making tomorrow's history. But Roycroft's uniqueness is thoroughly compelling. There's a creativity vortex here, a Native American energy vortex, as Mason Winfield says, that lives on. The way I look at it is, here's this community that Hubbard established, which his son keeps going after the Lusitania. It degrades into depression, is closed, neglected, reimagined well, and reinvented poorly over the years, is abandoned, and then begins to come back to life. And here come I like a hermit crab. I inhabit the existing shell and re-spirit the place with my own vision. We tap into the energy of Roycroft in a new way. Charlie's arrival back at Roycroft brought him full circle. His parents, Dorothy and Sidney Clough, moved to East Aurora in 1967, just a block from the campus when Charlie was still in high school. He finished his art courses at Hutch Tech and then went to Pratt Institute in New York City. After a year, he came back to the area and began serving at the Roycroft Inn and making his way as an artist. In 1974, he co-founded Hallwall's Contemporary Art Center, a Buffalo exhibition and performance center supporting local artists that thrives almost a half-century later on Delaware Avenue. His curriculum vitae spans 20 pages, listing the places he has exhibited and taught, and his work hangs in galleries and collections across the U.S. and abroad. Yet he chooses to make Roycroft his artistic home and bring his considerable talent and vision to bear on its future. Mary and Gil Stott will be proud of him and pleased with our choice to honor him with their award. Charlie?
Well, I guess I don't have to say anything, do I? Thank you, Rick. Gosh, except I'm gonna try to sell some stuff, so my wares. The great thing about the Stott Award is that it recognizes creation now, and like Rick mentioned, my interest is in turning now into history for the future. And yeah, my parents moved here in 1967, and according to my mother, she introduced the Turgeon brothers to the fact that the inn was for sale, and then she became fast friends with Kitty. 50 years ago tonight, I was serving dinners 20, 30 feet from here, while I was putting the puzzle pieces together that would turn into hall walls. I have a sales pitch here. This book here, The Political Value of Art is Beauty as a Symbol of Love. Dun, 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 dun. This goes through the 4 phases of my career, such as I understand it, and I don't know, we'll get it for sale somewhere, somehow. the thing is, I came back to take care of Dorothy, and there were other, dynamics in there, kind of covered in the book here. But what I found here was a place where, like, a kind of a machine where I could be really productive. I mean, on the one hand, there's the public painting workshop, which is about inclusion and diversity, and the idea of art not being something that's taught, but that is an encounter, that as in children and in play, what's going on is not instruction, but rather the engagement of the material that pulls you into the future, play. So I see that there's an ecosystem of production, distribution, and support. And I'm trying to make that happen. And so with this machine that I found how to make it function here, I've made it 800 paintings in the last, since 2015, 7 years. Distribution, well, every once in a while one sells. I pay some bills, it's a wonderful thing. I bring a smile to the face of my family. Kind of. My work went out of fashion around in the late 90s in New York. I left Western New York to go to New York City to stake my place in the avant-garde, if you will. And it worked, and that's when I got so many paintings in so many museums. But then I failed to continue to find dealer representation there. Bummer. So back here, I have all these paintings. They drip out over time. My idea of production, I've done that. Distribution, well, that would be sales. And support, that would be getting the money to make the thing happen. And so what's great is in the Stott Award, yes, it's about making stuff now, as opposed to trying to have the campus be the way it was, as if Albert never left. He left, okay? History happened. That was then, this is now. I'm making stuff. I want to move the stuff. I want to use the proceeds from my stuff we need a dedicated exhibition space, more than the little museum room across the street. I'd like a dedicated building, like new construction, like 50,000 square feet. I think I can help fund that if my distribution side comes up to speed. I'll tell you what I think I'm making. There's a sense of spirit here. You hear it a lot, from Mason, for example, and or the ghosts. My library's in Albert's office space, and my sense of spirit is I've absorbed over, now that I'm a septuagenarian, for many years, my top 500 artists' work. I've absorbed the sense of community in East Aurora, and I turn that into an image. That's what you get from any one of those 800 paintings that I'm trying to move. And so I've got a lot of pieces. I've been putting puzzles together for years, and the puzzle here is how to move into the future, how to sell some work, and then leave a legacy that turns into a museum building. I mean, the idea of production, the great thing about the Castelia Art Center is it opens the door to this idea of production. An art center doesn't necessarily include making stuff, but of course it should. I make stuff, I'm gonna make stuff, I'm gonna take the public painting workshop from the dungeon that it's in now up to the Castelia Art Center and try to engage there. You should all come and paint. Many of you have. There's literature back there. Let's see, what was it? So, there are three kinds of Clough paintings. places, seasons, and numbers. And the thing is, I've only done 3 places. One was the Hamburg Public Library. Jack Edson, I guess he's in New York. He was the director. He was the director of the Hamburg Library. Got me this commission, Albright Knox and Erie County, Public Art Initiative. 150 people worked on it. I did another one at Art Omai near Albany, and that painting went into the New York State Museum collection. This painting here, ta-da, Clough, Roycroft, I should have it on there, 2022, because I want this to be an annual thing. I call when I do this Chroma Fest, and that's kind of an orgy of color. And so on Founders Day, June 4th, a few months ago, there were 42 people who worked on this painting. They're all in here. My books are like, I'm making history here. There they are. They're wonderful people. They did it. So this painting is for sale to top bidder by Valentine's Day 2023. There's some stuff about it over there. So spread it around. We got to get a big price for this baby because it's going to help everything going on around here. I realized that I forgot to thank Rick.
Yes, sir.
And the Stotts and everybody who's come here. Let's see, in particular, friends from Connecticut, my editor on Art Will over there, Ray First, Mary Ellen First, my wife Liz up from New York, my helper and patron Ann Pierce, who's bought a lot of work. And Tony Bannon, one of my oldest friends in Buffalo, I met at Media Studies in the early 70s. Tony wrote for the news, directed the Birchfield Center, the Eastman House. He knows our history. And Gabby from Toronto and Mark, people who've come a long distance to be here with me. So I'm grateful. Thank you very much. And Jeanette, step right up.
There you go. Yes, and I forgot to mention that we do offer a small, however encouraging, stipend to cash award to our winners. We thought it would be appropriate for our next winner.